Welcome to the re-release of Season 2, So You Want to Be an Influencer. We are excited to share this content again with a Common Core aligned unit of study, guiding students through activities that help them think about their own personal brand and eventually create content for the school's brand. So You Want to Be an Influencer empowers students to tell their story and to make a positive difference. With the re-release, each episode is accompanied with a viewing reflection guide to help students think about who they are and how they can become an influencer, as well as activities they can do individually or with others to apply the content from the lesson. It is our hope here at Class Intercom that helping students dive into social media with purpose can not only gain skills to grow as a digital citizen, but also tell your school's story. So let's get started.
Last time on CGTV, Mitch talked about strategizing and planning out your content. Now, the next essential step that we must talk about, otherwise we'll be failures forever, is creating meaningful content. Oh, happy day. This is another installment of CGTV Season 2. I am your host, Mitch Fisher. This time around, we're getting into the whole meat of the idea of social media influencing, creating meaningful content. Let the creativity begin. The three topics we'll discuss today are: number 1, there are no shortcuts. Number 2, boost your followers' clout. And number 3, tie. Now, when it comes to creating meaningful content that's going to engage your audience, there are no shortcuts. What do I mean by this? This means that any content that is super easy to produce and requires little to no effort also won't get many views or won't be very meaningful to somebody. Now, there are exceptions to this rule. Like there are plenty of easy ways to create good content in such a short amount of time that will get engagement, but it's just more of a general rule of thumb. Content that you put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and research into will do a lot better with engaging your audience and being more meaningful for them. This doesn't guarantee it, but it has a lot better chance of engaging your audience. Number 2, boost your followers' clout. Clout wins, my friends. Your followers are looking for something that's going to be valuable for them and increase their social currency. We've kind of talked about this before, but we've never really put it this specific way. When you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, you might be looking for something funny, entertaining, or interesting or educational. When you stumble upon something that fits this criteria, you might like, comment, or even share it with your friends and family. Now think about it. If you're doing this when you're consuming content, the people consuming the content you're creating are doing the exact same thing. We're all looking for content that we find valuable for ourselves, but also increases our social currency. Give them something to like. Give them something so interesting they just have to comment. Give them something so cool they can't help but share it with their friends. People want to share content that makes them seem funny, cool, hip, interesting, whatever. Give them content they can brag about. Number 3, TIE, or tie. Now for some more tangible ways to create meaningful content. What does TIE or tie stand for, you ask? Let's break it down. The T stands for trends. One of the easiest ways to create content that is meaningful for your followers is to stay trendy. Hop on relevant trends. It's important to remember to make them your own. Whether you're a clothing apparel brand or a restaurant, you can take a trend and make it your own. Personalize it so it's relevant for you. The I stands for incentives. People love free stuff. Try doing some type of giveaway. If you have a product, that makes it pretty easy. You know, give away a handful of your products. If you don't have a product, however, and you're just trying to build up your personal brand, maybe you have a unique ability to draw. You could offer up a free portrait for the winner of your giveaway. This gets people engaged in sharing your content with their followers. Lastly, the E stands for emotions. Content that elicits emotions always wins. This can be in the form of nostalgia as well. Dig into your audience's minds and cause them to remember an old memory. Engage them with topics that are near and dear to their heart. The key here is to make it sincere. One generic example here is if you were trying to maybe target people that were born in the late 80s and 90s, if it's a commercial, you could include clips of popular 90s songs, popular 90s toys, popular things in the 90s to elicit those strong emotions from those 90s kids. Here are more tangible ideas for creating content that will get you thinking. Feature others. Go live. Almost every platform has the opportunity for you to go live now. This isn't by mistake. Live video is popular. Give the audience behind the scenes look at whatever you're doing Finally, you can also republish user-generated content. Fans love to post content in hopes that maybe you'll see it. Don't be afraid to republish that and brag about your fans. At the end of the day, your followers follow you because they've established a connection with your personality. Be authentic. It's all about your audience, so give them what they want. Now, I had the great pleasure of speaking with students involved with Project B3 this last week. During the month of October, they've been creating content addressing the topic of cyberbullying. Here's what they had to say about creating meaningful content.
I think that allows people to reach something or be able to learn something new.
I mean, a lot of things are something necessarily not you support, but something that's important to you. Like me, kind of Project B3, mental health is very important. So spreading awareness about that could be a very meaningful post.
Just for me, when I see people post stuff on social media about things that I'm passionate about, I just feel like it is really meaningful to me when I see them posting things that I support or that I believe in, and I just think that that's meaningful to me. For when I heard that we were going to be promoting anti-bullying on social media, I thought now was actually a really good time for it because everyone is staying home and they're going on social media more nowadays due to the virus going on. So I feel like now more than ever, everyone is on social media.
Do any of you have examples of content? It could be directly from an influencer, a video, whatever it might be, that you found meaningful to you, that increased your well-being, and what made you stop scrolling?
For me, I like drawing, and there's a couple of accounts that I follow, especially that I like kind of how they lay stuff out and how they incorporate better themes into what they make. So the themes kind of hit hard for me. And then I also think that just the way that they lay out in graphics is a lot more easy to process than just words on a page.
That I want to get across to whoever I'm giving this to. And then I think about a concise way to do that. So kind of figure out a good catchphrase or simple sentence like a hashtag that really hits home the message I'm trying to send. And then just elaborate on it a little bit. So when you look at the post, you know what it is, but when you use that hashtag, it really just boils down the point.
How are some of those brands, what are the things they keep in mind when they're posting to stay on brand?
They make sure their content is recent and they do research based on demographics and locations.
I like to follow Wendy's on Twitter. I think it's hilarious. So I would say one of the things when you're thinking about branding is tone for sure. A lot of companies kind of choose what tone they're speaking from, and they always kind of speak from that tone, whether it's joking or serious or satirical or, you find your people that way in tone, people who have the same sense of humor or the same kind of compassion or whatever it is that you're trying to put out there. I would say tone is a huge thing as far as branding goes for me.
I feel like you should look at the comments and see what people are thinking about your post, and then already start thinking about your next post and try to appeal to the people and see what